My friends, if you examine sacred writings carefully, as many have done, and look at how and when they were written, and at how, when, and why they were collected, and deemed worthy of being part of a sacred canon, you will discover that flawed men with particular interests played the lead role in each step. And who told you that these words were sacred, the inspired, infallible words of God? Was it men like Athanasius, the father of orthodoxy, who had people tortured and killed if they disagreed with him? So sure was he that the fate of all human souls hung in the balance? I have no doubt that the men responsible for each step in the process were in some measure inspired by the spirit which dwelt in them. But they could only do their best, and their best was still human, and frequently missed the mark. Of course, I am grateful that these writings survived, and that they are read and studied, even if I sometimes wonder whether the world would not have been better served if no sacred scriptures had survived. Because the minute you ascribe scriptures to God and make them holy, you create an idol which can lead you away from God and down a treacherous path. Allowing humans to speak for God is never safe. That includes me. My words are not God's words, even if I believe they are what God has shown me. In your hearts, aided by the Spirit which dwells in each of you, you can discern what comes from God and what does not. But the first step in this discernment process is to let go of everything you have been taught about inspired tradition, including every religious doctrine. Only when you let go of these things are you free, alone or within your community of faith, to listen to the inner voice of God, which can help you discern whether what I or anyone else has said or written is true and will lead human life in the direction of greater love, greater justice, greater respect, and ultimately lead to the flourishing of all life on earth. Insofar as any sacred writing or religion promotes such human flourishing, it is to be welcomed. Insofar as any sacred writing or religion discourages education or criticism of itself, or promotes dehumanization, inhumanity, injustice, oppression, violence, or the destruction of the environment in which we live, it must be challenged.